again, the pose is to help us sleep or to help us fall back asleep if you've woken up in the middle of the night, which by the way is classic. Waking up anywhere from about 2 to 4 p.m. is really, really common, especially if you're female. So even Elton John wrote about that, remember? So if you can come onto all fours position to begin, will help you to get back to sleep or to fall asleep. We begin in child's pose, and you take the arms forward and you reach, and then you exhale back, release the forehead to the mat, and let the palms really reach out there so you have nice long backs of arms. On the exhale, you're really pulling the core in order to draw the tailbone back. Now for some people it feels brilliant to have the feet together like so, and then to have the knees on the outside edges of the mat. So just notice if that feels more natural. And again, on the exhale, you're drawing the core back and you're drawing the tailbone back with that core pulling in, so you hollow out. And of course, you may have set up some lovely music that you'd like to listen to. That's really soothing. This is something also to do throughout the day if you're tired. It sounds funny, but releasing stress will help you feel more alert, as well as helping you fall asleep. Now you might do a little shift from side to side to release the tailbone and the low back. And again, the weight of the forehead is down. And if it's really challenging to get the head down, if you can't reach, which often happens, then you could have a pillow or a bolster here on the edge of the forehead, and then that way you can breathe and you can release back. Now pause the video if you want to stay in child's pose longer because it feels so right. And then the next thing we do is a biggie, so that's code for this could be hard. And it is to do a press of the feet down, and you lower all the way back down into reclining hero pose. So you come down this way, and as you can see my quads are tight, so they're lifting, and then you let the arms come out to the side, overhead, or you can hold on to the feet. Now my knees can come down. I've got my knees apart because of the tightness in through the psoas and my hip flexors. Now for many people, this will not be an option for ever so many reasons, including just general no way. It's way too much for the back or the hips or the ankles. So that's where you would use, if you have some couch pillows, you could put 2 or 3 in a row. This is a rather large size bolster, and you could do that. So you could take your feet under, and here again, the knees are apart. From most people, you'll need that. The low back begins right at the end of the pillows or the bolster, and the arms come here to the side. Again, if you wish, you may take the arms up overhead because that feels really great through the chest and the shoulders. If it's too much of an impingement in the front shoulder, then please take the arms down to the side. And in each position, you can keep the gaze to the ceiling and or close the eyes. And also, if it's a little bit too much in through the low back, then you could have a pillow underneath the tailbone. So these are the things that you would have in place as you go into the reclining hero pose. We're opening the front body, and we're also releasing it through the tops of the thighs. It's great to just press the toes down for a moment, just to feel the press of the shins and the knees down, and then let go again. So this is reclining hero pose. The breathing is in and out through the nose, so that helps you to start to slow down. And by keeping the awareness on the breathing, you really help to still the mind. Very nice. And again, do feel free to have the arms alongside the body. Here I am, so like this, and you're just down by the feet. That might be a lot more releasing for your arms and your shoulders and your neck. Now, then we come into our next pose, so please pause the video if this is really great and feeling so right. Stay there. The next pose, you can draw yourself back up, and we come into reclining, what's called reclining bound angle. Now this pose, I think you're going to even see that it feels feels good. Now, if I had an aerial camera that I could turn on, I'd turn it on right now. So just imagine I've got that until I get all of that camera equipment and my drone license and we can film overhead. Until then, just to imagine that the view is from up here and you're taking the arms, this is so nice, you're taking the arms overhead. I've got my thumbs facing in towards each other and you let the arms rest back. So good to lift the rib cage. So imagine that you're being fish hooked on the chest bone, sternum, and it's pulled up. And then you press the shoulders under. This is really good. You're letting the soles of the feet come together. And if it's too much in through the sacral area, then do this. Take the feet way down to make a giant diamond that's stretched out. Or you could turn and come into an overhead arm Savasana, and that will help to let the back. The advantage of having the soles of the feet together, going back to the original pose, is that you will draw your tailbone down. Also, you're relaxing in through the inner thighs and into the bottom of the core muscles, going into hip flexors and psoas. All of that helps to release stress that's in the bottom of the spine at the front. This pose is often used for fertility, not to worry. It's a pose that helps relax the whole pelvic floor and to release stress. So if you've done this for pelvic floor or to open up the inner thighs, this pose will be really familiar. You're breathing in and out through the nose, continuing to open the front body as you rest back. And you feel the backs of the arms heavy. Feel yourself letting go. Good. And here again, see if you can keep the awareness on the breathing. Breathing in and out through the nose. Very nice. And again, here, pause the YouTube if this is a great place to stay. The next pose, as I check my notes, is we come right up into the reclining bound angle. Now, for this one, we're going to come, actually, let's go into lizard pose. We're going to take the right foot forward, and you can take the body into all fours position and take the hands over the left side of your mat. Take the right foot forward to meet the hands a little bit in front of them, and then take the hands to meet that right foot. Tuck the toes under in the back of the left foot. Now lift the legs, send the knee out, lift through the body, and keep that heel reaching back. And shoulders are down. The front knee is tucked into the torso, and you're just reaching out from the crown of the head. I also find it's really nice to do this, to bend the knee down and to get a good opening through the hip and to pull up from the torso. So we keep that lift. Now the shoulders are down, and I just want to check my notes on this one. We've got we've got the shoulders down, and then again you can lift the leg. That just gave you a little bit more release in through the front thigh. Make sure as you press into the palms, the shoulders are down your back, so you're not doing this. You're not pressing up, but you want to flatten the upper back and reach out from the crown of the head. So you're lifting the chin slightly, but you're not lifting the head, just a long open throat. And then you would change legs. So you can take that back knee down, come back, shift onto the back left knee, take that right leg around, do any maneuvering you need to, take the hands over to the right side, and then step that left leg forward. Great. And then the hands are right in line with that left foot, tuck the back toes under, reach the heel, energize it out. These poses stretch the hip flexors and the psoas in the bottom of the spine at the front, which really helps to relieve the back. And that's how we often can get our bodies to rest back in bed. There's often a lot of tension in our hip flexors and psoas, and this can lead to a lot of stress that's so subtle we don't even know that it's not allowing our body to let go. And then gently, here we go, we press that knee down. That just helps to open that hip flexor a bit more, and the toes tucked under, and keep the breathing full. Really nice to pull up on the skin, really pull up on the abdomen, so it feels like you're pulling your shirt up over your head. The rib cage lifts up and in, and that's where you have that little half a giggle, little that you're pulling the rib cage in. And then you press that heel back again. Lengthen through the leg, reach the heel out. And as always, if this feels so right, stay in the pose and breath in and out through the nose. And then we release when you're ready. Take that left leg back. Now we'll walk the hands back and come up onto your feet. It's nice to do a bent leg downward dog to walk back into a forward bend. Now from your forward bend, have your feet just hip width apart and let your head fall. So you're going to lengthen in through the low back. The heavy body allows you to get some traction through the neck as the head hangs and you let go. The inner thighs are active, you're moving up. This might seem like a lot of work before bed, but it's a really good way to let your body get long in the back so you let go more back into the mattress. So the backs of the knees are really open. If you need to keep the knees bent, please do. Pull up strongly from the core as you fold. And feel the weight evenly through all four corners of the feet. And really work the bum up by sending the inner thighs back to straighten the legs as much as you can. If there's too much discomfort in the backs of the knees, then bend the knees slightly. Just like this. So you do a little press of the heels, draw the knees forward. Just keep noticing what is right there. Now the next pose is called Garland, and I barely ever do this one, so I'm going to really take my time to teach you so I do it right. You're going to have, I'm going to show you from the front, you're going to have your toes turn out slightly, and you're going to squat down. So here we are. You're going to squat down and let the tailbone come all the way down. Now the hands reach under, like so, and then you let your head dangle, so you're rounding in the spine. The knees are turned out over the toes, so the toes are on an angle, and you go into your breathing. It's quite a fantastic way to stretch right in through the sacral area, which I'm sure you'll feel. Now, sometimes you can bend forward more here, so here I'm going down. I'm going to see, oh yeah, I can get the hands in a little further. Wow, and now there's more of a stretch in through the sacral area. You can hear my throat is slightly closed because I've got the head dropped and I'm getting that traction in through the back of the neck. Really great stretch in through the sacral area. What's brilliant is the bend, the squat, is pulling your tailbone down, and the tuck of the head is pulling your upper back forward, so you're rounding into a big C shape to open up all of the facets in the back of the spinal processes, so your whole back is getting opened. As much as you can breathe in and out, the more you'll create expansion in your back. Now here again, if you want to stay with the pose, please do. And if this was just crazy, go past it. Like if it was too much of a squat, then you just go on to the next pose. So I present it because it is brilliant. Okay, the next one is to take the lying twist. So we're going to bring the legs out and come on all the way down to the floor. Take the arms out to the side like a T. Press the shoulder blades under so you're long in through the neck. Straighten your left leg, bend your right knee in towards the ceiling, and then tip over to your left. You keep pressing the arms back. See if you can come all the way down with that right knee, so you continue to open up in through the right hip and low back. And you go into your breathing. Now you can gaze to the ceiling, or if it's brilliant, you can gaze over to the right and just make sure that you keep wiggling and dropping the arms back so you open the neck and the shoulders and your breathing is steady. Keep that reach across. And again, keep opening through that right side. This one will be one of your favorites, I'm sure, It's a really great way to passively open up your low back. And then when you're ready, again, you might pause the video because it's so fabulous, and then release the knee in, give it a hug, and lift the head, tuck the chin, and just round in through the spine. You can have the left leg out there reaching, point the toes, and then gently release. Let that right leg straighten. Take the arms back out to the side. Bend the left knee up to the ceiling. Inhale, and then exhale, come over to the right, and press the arms back on that left side. Tip over to the right as much as you can, and you might really appreciate the difference. You get to find out where the tightness is in your low back. One side might be entirely different. So just notice the difference in the sides without thinking one's wrong. Just really appreciate the recognition of where the tension is in your body. And you do want to really drop over to that right side. You might notice the shoulder comes way off the floor on this side, that left side. Just see if you can still reach that knee across. And do any little wiggling you need to do to get the body back and to open through the shoulders more, to get that side body opening. And breathing in and out through the nose. And then you draw back up, hug that left knee in. The breathing is constant, in and out through the nose. There isn't a time that you need to exhale. That's too much thinking. I want you to simply breathe in and out. If you are advanced, like yoga is really natural to you, you would exhale whenever, especially when you exert, like when you fold more, bend more, or lift more. So, for example, right here, I'm going to lift the head, and I would exhale there, and then breathe in on the way down. And you can point the toes on that right foot just to get more length in through the quad on that right side. You're breathing. Okay, I'm going to do less instructions because I want you not to think. And then you can take that right leg up, draw the knees in wide, and do a little rock side to side. Good. Now, if you had a wall, or even if you had a headboard on your bed, now is where you would take your legs up the wall. And if you don't have that, if there is no wall space for you to get to, so this is where you would take your device, and so just imagine them against the wall, and you would go against the wall for the rest of the video. Now, if you don't have a wall, and so those who have a wall, you're on the wall. If you don't have a wall, you would come up and you would come into the pigeon pose with one leg. So you would take the right leg forward and hands on either side of the leg. Take the left leg back, bend down onto that left knee, beautiful opening through that left thigh. Walk your right foot across on a diagonal, not straight across, but in. Drop down to that right bum. So you're on the cheek of that right buttock with any luck. You might not drop, and if you don't, put a pillow, a head pillow underneath the bum, or 3 head pillows, whatever it takes. It used to take me 3. And then you reach that left leg back. Now you're squaring to the front and you're rising. So we're not going to do a lying pigeon, but we're going to open through the chest to increase the stretch. This will help increase the relaxation as well. Get more opening in the posture. And you keep pressing the back toes down as you lift from the rib cage. You're gazing ahead. And you want to just feel the pull-up of the skin of the abdomen here, right in here, as you pull up and as you press that back left foot down. Stay with your breathing. Now, you either stay with the pose, because again, it's really helping you let go more, or you come up. You bend into the back knee, and then you take that right leg back, take the hands over to the right side, step the left leg forward, might take a bunch of steps, take the left hand on the outside, walk that left foot across and down a little bit so you're on your ankle, and then you press the left knee forward. Take the hands in front of the left foot, press the back toes down as you lift from the rib cage. I always like to do some, moving around to get the hips to drop And to kind of open up in through the neck. And keep that back toes pressing down. And again, you pull up on the skin of the abdomen as you lift. Shoulder blades are down. You press into the palms and you're gazing ahead. Rise, drop. Good. Just make sure you're really free through the shoulders. Pull up from the skin. Press the back toes down. Breath. And then again, if it feels so right, just stay here. Stay with the posture because it's really helping your hips and your low back. And then you gently release. Come back. Great. And now come on into straight forward bend. So we're going to take the legs in front. So you might notice the habit here. The habit is to fold because any kind of forward bend helps release and helps the body release, helps tension go. So it's better than doing anything that's a back bend. That's more stimulating. So in forward bend, I know this can be challenging. It's just like having the legs up the wall. You draw the toes back, you reach and extend forward, and you lift up from the low back as opposed to this, as opposed to trying to get down. So see if you can reach forward, have your shoulders slide down, toes pull back as you reach out from the heels, and you lengthen right from the low back, and your breathing is full. And then you can absolutely come on back up. And then you go to the best part. You lie down into Savasana. And I really, really wish all of these poses helped your back let go. Now you let your legs lengthen and just do a little moving in and out of the feet before you soften and let go into Savasana and fall asleep instantly. And let the whole front body drop back. Release into Savasana. This will help to let go of any other little places that there might be some holding. Feel how much of your body is in contact with the floor. Let yourself go.